All right, it's been a minute. It has definitely been a minute since I've done live here on this very channel, so give me just a moment because I reset my whole OBS to update it and driver updates. You guys know how this goes. And we'll put this here so this is so in case anybody subscribes, it's there. Okay. All right. So let me get everything set up. I'm not set up yet, so bear with me for a minute. I got to get my stuff all going. So it's been a minute since I've done a live wrestling review. It's been a minute, so this will be fun. Oh, it's been a weekend. My USC Trojans gave it its hurrah, hurrah, and they lost. So, you know, at the end, they could have won that at the end, but it's okay. There's, you know, Moss is still doing his thing. Miller Moss is still doing his thing, or Moss Miller or something like that. So, you know, it's all good either way. You know, win some, lose some. You can't win them all. It's okay. You know, shit happens. UCLA got their asses kicked, and then we got some new Pac-12 news that Utah State is moving into Pac-12 Central. Boise State and a whole bunch of others are joining next year. So, and people are saying the Pac-12 should merge with the Mountain Conference, but whatever, you know. Anyway, tonight, WWE did the right thing tonight, and I know a lot of people are going to be pissed with my opinion, and I know I'm not for everyone, but WWE did the right thing tonight with putting the belt on Jey Uso. I said they had to do something with Jey Uso for the meantime until the bloodline stuff, or have him win it and then have the title swap. So have the U.S. title over on Raw and then have the IC belt over on SmackDown, because Jey Uso's gonna be in the bloodline. However you slice it and dice that. So they had to do something there, which I'm not mad over that. So I'm not mad over those things. I told you guys for a minute, I explained this to a lot of you, that for a minute, Jey Uso was going to take the IC belt to SmackDown. And I've been saying that for a minute. So I love being vindicated by Triple H. It's best for business. It's the right move. It is exactly the right move. It's what I was asking for. I have no complaints with that at all. Entirely. I have no complaints. The thing with Gunther, I like what they're doing with Sami Zayn. They're doing the same thing, basically how they did the IC belt, having to overcome diversity. I'm cool with that. Give me more of that. You know, again, Kaiser got beat. That's just how this goes. They're stacking the cards against Sami Zayn. They're doing the right things. Sami Zayn, will he win the title? I know they'll have a match probably at Bad Blood for the title, because they have to, because they got to have one of the champions fight on that pay-per-view. But Sami Zayn will not come out of that as champion. There's no way. Absolutely no way of that happening. Another thing that I found interesting, that they put the IC championship match instead of on Bad Blood. They put this here on Raw, and they made the crowd go home happy. That's a Triple H thing. Triple H has been changing the game when it comes to WWE and how things are. He used to do this in NXT a lot. What a lot of people didn't realize, on NXT television, Black and Gold, he used to do this a lot, where you would have titles just change to change. I'm gonna drink a little bit of my coffee real quick. So I'm cool with this. I'm cool with Triple H doing things. Jey Uso's been belt for a very long time. A lot of you guys don't realize this, but Jey Uso's been being belt for a very long time. And I think, you know, honestly, if we're gonna do what we need to do with Jey Uso, you got to give Jey Uso something at this point. You can't keep calling him main event. You can't keep calling him the whole freaking show. You can't take a Rob Van Dam ism and make him. You got to give him the belt. There's no doubt about that. Tonight, Raw made everybody happy tonight, and that's how it should be. Like, there's no doubt about it. Raw is the A show for WWE at this point. They show you why. Like I said, AEW should be taking notes. They should have somebody watching their competition and to see what works. you know, for WWE and kind of put it into their show. The thing about AEW right now is what WWE is showing you is how good they are without having to have blood and extreme matches and 5-star matches. They could show you that they can build for months and send people home happy. You know what I mean? They don't need, they really, really don't need to do too much to make people happy. That's your difference. And I've been saying this for a while. I said for a minute, AEW does not need to do the unprotected chair shots or the extreme wrestling stuff. If they build good stories, people will come back. They just haven't given a reason for people to sink their teeth into it. Yes, I know that some of these big podcasts are saying with this TV rights deal that's happening that's not even confirmed. And another thing I want to talk about on this show tonight, on this review, Rey Fenix may have time tacked on to his deal now. They're saying that they may tack on time, basically a ploy so nothing has been set in stone. So the reporting I did about the Lucha Brothers joining WWE may not be the case. All this reporting, they got masks and stuff. Phoenix has not been cleared yet. The reports came out yesterday or today that Rey Fenix has not been cleared to join WWE. Like, he's been in limbo. The only one that's contract's up and supposedly I think he signed is Penta. But who knows? Now who knows at this point? It's the same with the Motor City Machine Guns. A lot of people are like, where are they at? They're like, the reports there are the same reports as the Lucha Party or the Lucha Brothers, right? It's the same thing. So like I said, don't take everything serious when it comes to things like that. People are going to tell me, oh, Rev Sauce, you're full of shit. You reported that. Yeah, I did, because I jumped thinking that was 100% confirmed. And it wasn't. It seems like that they may be tacking time on Rey Fenix in the idea of maybe keeping his brother away from WWE as well. I don't know what they're doing. AEW's weird. I think Miro, they're not going to, I really believe Miro will get his shit declined. Miro needs to show up in AEW, man. Miserable or not, he needs to show up and fulfill. He's got a 6-figure contract, supposedly. He needs to fulfill his obligations. I don't want to see him walking into WWE, MLW, NWA, any of these places. He needs to fulfill his dates, and he could sit on the couch without no pay. If I'm Tony Khan at this point, what I would do with Miro is simple as this. I'd pull the guy to the side and tell him, here, I am going to do 2 things with you. I'm not going to grant you your release. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, every day you don't show up, I'm docking you pay. I fine his ass every fucking day like an NFL player. You don't want to show up to my organization, I fine your ass. You pay me. And if you don't like that, we can go have it out in court. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And if Miro goes to court against AEW, he loses. Tony Khan needs to start showing his wrestlers that he's serious, especially if they're getting 2 TV rights deal, one for Fox and another one for WBD. They gotta show up in the building. But anyway, enough of me talking about AEW. And a lot of the reporting is wishy-washy. Over the weekend, I was listening to Sean Ross Sapp. He did something 3 days prior before the weekend. I think it was on Wednesday. They were talking about that, how it's not a complete signed, sealed, and delivered deal with the whole TV rights deal. There's still negotiation on the final stuff. And that's not even including that pay-per-views may not even be included on the Max. They may just put simulcasting between Max and TNT, which is fine. They should. And at that point, let me be honest with you guys. At that point, views and ratings don't matter shouldn't matter to you. Once these companies start hitting big streaming platforms with their shows, because that's going to be the way of the future, views go out the door. And another thing that I kind of listened to Sean Ross Sapp on, and it made sense, and I've been kind of saying this, the cable views matter more than the fucking people in the seats. And I kind of agree with that. They just set it up to where it feels like it's a full audience. So I get why AEW is not making it a big ordeal to have people in their crowds. Like WWE just got rid of house shows completely. They're talking about getting rid of house shows or doing special events around the United States. They're not even talking about doing house shows anymore. So that tells me that there's no money outside of television. So there's that. So fun fact to a lot of you that care about views and a lot of people that said AEW was dying. I mean, up yours, I guess. That's the way I see it. A lot of these channels that reported, you know, I told you guys AEW wasn't going anywhere. They weren't going to die. A lot of you are idiots. A lot of you sat back and said, oh, they're going to get more than what it's worth. They're actually going to get what Tony Khan was looking to get, 200 mil per year. He's going to get 200 million a year or more. However, Fox wants to put him on Tubi or want to put him on FS1. They're going to get more than what they are asking for. And if Fox likes what happens, guarantee they get Ring of Honor over there. I wouldn't be surprised. And Tony Khan also stated this, like the tape library and stuff, it's got to mean something to him. Another thing that you guys don't realize, the tape library's got to mean something. I wouldn't be surprised, and I said this recently in my own live streams. You can quote me on this one, but I said, wouldn't it be something he goes and signs a deal, not with Max, he goes signs a deal with Hulu or Disney Plus to have his pay-per-views, and Disney's okay with the blood? Wouldn't that be something? So keep an eye out on what I'm about to say. I think Disney's going to strike Pater. And I think Warner wants the TV rights stuff, but they don't want the stuff like that. SmackDown got 1.4 views past Friday. Both AEW and WWE are not doing well with ratings. Network over. Let me read. Hold on. Let me fix that. What's up, Dream? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Well, with ratings, cable networks over cable TV. Well, what's happening with cable TV? So if you guys don't know what's happening with cable TV, fun fact, DirecTV just lost on their satellite side. They lost a good chunk of people. So did Dish. Dish and DirecTV are merging. They're in merge talks. Dish is trying to get out of the TV space. So when people start talking to me about cable views and Ted Nelson ratings, it does not matter. Does not matter. Viewerships are not going to matter going forward because AEW, part of this deal, supposedly, from what Sean Ross Sapp has said, that they may be simulcasting between the streaming service and Dynamite, like they do baseball. It's not going to matter. Views are not going to matter in 2025, 2026. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The Nelson rating, the people get hard and horny for, that's not going to exist anymore. A lot of people, these tribalists that you see online, that's dying off. It's like the fanboy wars over consoles. It's dying. It's a niche thing. Consoles are going the way of cell phones. However you want to slice it and dice that industry. But Sean Ross Sapp has said it. Industry leaders have said it. Views are not going to matter. Key demographics are not going to matter. When it goes to streaming, it's just going to be how many people are watching, and that's it at that live. Like I said, WWE gets more views on their lives on Peacock than they do actually on SmackDown. Now, I didn't know SmackDown's views were, well, that's a pretty high number, 1.49. That's a pretty high number. I mean, that's averagely what Raw gets. And SmackDown, they're talking about going 3 hours. Why? Why? I don't need 3 hours of fucking wrestling, WWE. I need you just to be good. I don't want 3 hours on a Friday. It's bad enough I forgot to cover Collision. My bad, guys. I was not feeling good on Saturday. My stomach, whatever's going on with my stomach. Jimmy winning. I kind of figured they were going to go that way with Jimmy Uso. They have to. Everything I told you is coming true. I predicted everything within all my streams. I'm not saying that I'm the be all end all. Please don't take it that way. I said about 3 weeks ago, I said they're going to swap titles. You watch. They're going to have Jimmy Uso win the belt, and then they're going to swap him and LA Knight over onto Raw, and they're going to give Braun Breaker the United States belt. Watch how that plays. They are high up on Braun Breaker right now. Jay Uso's going to be over. Yeah, sorry. Jay, I get confused between the two. My bad. So Jay Uso will go over to SmackDown. So they'll do a trade. So it'll be a like for a like. It'll be pretty much LA Knight for Jey Uso. Jey Uso goes over and be part of Roman's side. Jimmy's healthy. Supposedly he's still getting over some injuries. Supposedly he'll be in the bloodline. You'll see probably Sami Zayn. That's why Sami Zayn won't win that World Heavyweight title, because he's going to be moving over to SmackDown. Guarantee it. So they're going to have probably, I'm going to say, Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, and I think you're going to get Televatu. I think the one at the Zayafatu. I think that's what they're going to go for. I think they're going to bring him in, or they're going to be bring Hikuleo in from New Japan. They're saying Hikuleo is not going to be part of the bloodline. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that he's just going to be just an NXT. These reports. Yeah, like I was talking, I've been, because I've been live streaming a little bit on YouTube here and there. I've been doing pre-recorded content. You guys have, uploaded content over live content because I've not been feeling well, and I've been focusing more on the game streaming side of things. But Saturday I just didn't feel good. It was something to do with my stomach and acid, man. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because I'm working out and I kind of gained some of my weight back and I'm a little out of shape. So I got to get back to working out again. So back to fasting and not eating as much and, get back to the things. But yeah, I think 2 hours is good enough for my brain. You go any further than that, you're kind of going into pay-per-view territory. After like 3 hours of a pay-per-view, my brain's kind of fried. Or when it slows down, when the pay-per-view slows down, my brain goes fried. Sorry, a little sippy cup because I didn't want to drink too much coffee. So yeah, we have Jey Uso winning the title. I'm happy about that. That was where I wanted it to be. This is Triple H rewarding the fans. And plus, Jey Uso, what were you going to do more? What were you going to do? Have him lose again? You can't have this man lose again. There's just no way. Again, you got to build this man up, and then it's perfect. They'll do a swap. LA Knight will lose his title to Braun Breaker. I'm cool with that. Are you watching the Vince documentary? Yeah, I'm gonna be reacting. Probably do something live for that. That's a special thing. I'll be watching it as it hits the Netflix. So on the 25th, 2 days from now, it'll probably hit on the 24th because I'm West Coast time. It'll probably hit. I don't know where you guys are all located in the world of things, but I'm Pacific Standard, so it'll probably hit 9 o'clock my time on the 24th, which is 12 Eastern time. And I'll be able to watch, because I guess it's a document series. I guess it's going to be a bunch of episodes. So I'll watch how many episodes Netflix has allowed us to watch to start. Let's see here. Vince's documentary this Wednesday, his reaction said all on Twitter. His reaction, hold on. I don't like the heart thingy. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Are you watching the Vince documentary this Wednesday? Because his reaction says it all on Twitter. I haven't followed Vince McMahon's reaction, but after the show, I'll definitely, if it's juicy enough, I'll probably do a video on it before the documentary comes out. I'll probably be the only channel out there that'll do something before if there's something said or something done. I know Mick Foley and a bunch of others are kind of still on that fence line because they have Danielson. I was very shocked. Some of the tidbits from so far from what I've seen, Danielson's kind of more of on the line, separating the promoter from the person kind of deal. So the promoter he has tons of respect for, And like same like Mick Foley. So when you watch the documentary, supposedly the tidbits that I've been reading is Danielson and John and a lot of them are going to talk about him as a promoter more than a person. They'll probably lean into it a little bit. And I can understand it because a lot of them have respect and a lot of them in the industry kind of owe Vince McMahon on that note. I kind of get it. But at the same time, I kind of don't because they should be like, the guy's a fucking predator. Like that's just a fact. A lot of people justify to me Vince McMahon. Oh, he did a lot for like, yeah. So did Chris Benoit. That's why I separate this shit. When it comes to Chris Benoit, the wrestler Chris Benoit to the person are two different people. It's Mr. Hyde, Mr. Jekyll. So I separate the two. Chris Benoit as a person is a piece of shit. Chris Benoit, the wrestler, all the years of my childhood, one of the greatest to ever wrestle, to ever live. Vince McMahon's going to go down as a piece of shit as a human being, but a great wrestling promoter and mind at times. So that's how it's going to go down. That's how most people are going to take it. Most people in this day and age are going to be out for blood, and they're going to go, because he did this in the wrestling industry during his tenure in WWE, he's a piece of shit. I'm not going to go all the way there. I will call him as a human being a piece of shit. Vince McMahon, the person, is a piece of shit. Vince McMahon, the booker / wrestling character, two different stories. Mr. Hyde, Mr. Jekyll. I can't really, it's kind of like, I know I'm going to say this and I'm going to get hate for this one and I'm going to probably get canceled for my saying this. It's like I'm going to be watching the FX series about Hernandez, right? I'm going to be watching that intensely, the Hernandez stuff, because that shit's deep to me because I live that. I don't know the whole aspect of it, but he was a great football player. But I'm going to separate the person from the player. The person from the player is two different people. The player was an amazing player that got hit too many times in the fucking head and kind of Chris Benoit himself literally big time at the end of it all. Sorry, we can all agree to disagree on this. I know some people are going to tell me I'm a piece of shit for even going this far. I apologize, but my opinion's my opinion at the end of the day. I don't think everything Vince McMahon as the person goes is a piece of shit. It's wrestling. Yeah, there was times that Vince McMahon booked like shit, but there was times that he made me happy as a kid. So I can, at the end of the day, I'm not and by the way, before somebody says I'm condoning his actions, no, I'm not condoning him as the person. Fuck that person. Fuck him as a person. It's the same as how I feel about Dr. Disrespect. Fuck that person too. What a predator too. Fuck that person. But, it's the same with Mr. Beast. Fuck Mr. Beast. That guy's a manipulated scam artist scumbag. So, same with Elon Musk. I don't like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a scumbag. Rich billionaire scumbag. Well, what I'm basically saying, I like the way I will say this, and I knew somebody was going to come and ask me, what do you think of Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon as the character, the booker, at times booking was great. He made my childhood, right? But as the person and all learning about all the outs, you're a piece of shit. You're in the same ballpark as Diddy. Let's just get real here. Diddy and Vince McMahon are in the same playing field. Okay? I won't look at Vince McMahon, the human being, the same. But I will thank Vince McMahon, before somebody says I'm being disrespectful here, I'm separating the two. Vince McMahon as a person is a piece of shit. Vince McMahon, the character, and the booking and the overseeing of things for years, he made my child in a lot of things. If it wasn't for him, Booker T, or this situation or that situation, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that Vince McMahon should be vindicated just because he made my childhood. No, he should pay for his crimes. He should go to jail if it goes that far. And yeah, he should lose a lot of money and a lot of credibility. I've said that all along to you guys. I've said the same thing about Dr. Disrespect. I've said the same thing about Mr. Beast. I've said the same thing. These people need to go. You know, he had and another thing is, how do you're on top of the world. This is the thing that I don't understand with Vince McMahon. You're on top of the fucking world. You're on the top of the food chain, man. How the fuck do you go and play in different cookie jars? How do you go do that shit? And then like think it's A-okay and then hide it and sweep it under the rug for so long. That's the thing that irritates me the most. How nobody said anything. And I get why WWE's having a stroke and freaking out over this. It's gonna be very damning. It's gonna be very, very damning to a lot of fucking people. And I'm wondering how many people covered this shit. Cat Williams really did. Yeah, Dream, don't think I don't think I'm all about Vince McMahon here. I'm not. I'm separating the two people. I'm separating the wrestling character from the person. It's like Diddy the music. I like Diddy the music. Okay, P. Diddy, I love the music that he did. Him as the person outside of music, he's a piece of shit. Throw him to the wolves. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Like that's my personal opinion. Fuck that guy. That guy did a lot of shitty things and undespicable things. And now it's coming out. People are saying that he may have had something with Big E's fucking death. That's coming out too now. So he's a real piece of shit. I'm trying to help you guys out. Please. I don't know what you're on about, Shingo or Sergio. Whatever WWE this up should be fired and get. Yeah, exactly. WWE has a lot to hide, and I still think they're hiding some things. And I think this documentary will open up a lot of people's eyes to what I think should be. I think we should all know what's going on. We should all know Vince McMahon had nothing to do with this. It's Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons is amazing. He did a lot of things for ESPN. So he even said it himself. Vince McMahon had no money in this. It's all Netflix's money. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how much of a piece of shit Vince McMahon is. I think they're going to go show a little bit of his life leading up to, they're going to show all of his accolades first. I think that's what they're going to do at wrestling interviews. And then I think in the middle and the end, they're going to start talking about his downfall. It looks like somebody deleted their comment or somebody, I appreciate that. Thank you, whoever did that. His comment is now gone. I don't see that. Thank you for that. If you guys see something like that weirdo shit, please ban on site. Time them out. Like, I don't know who that person is. Either you're trolling or you're just trying to be funny. I don't know. Anyway, enough of me talking about Vince McMahon. Let's get into tonight a little bit more. Jey Uso did win the Intercontinental title. It was I actually was happy about that. When I was watching it on DirecTV stream on my iPad, I'll be honest with you guys, I was very happy. I was very happy with that. That is Triple H doing good things. Now let's talk about Friday. I covered Friday, and I didn't go into depth about cinema. Look, WWE with Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash is really well known for doing these kind of things. He did this stuff in TNA Impact when Dixie Carter and Billy Corgan was owning it. I just want to say the cinema stuff, I don't really consider it cinema stuff. I consider it more of kind of like what they did in Impact Wrestling a lot of, when they would go to random locations, and they would when they would do the Hardys versus, I think that's cool. Now, if they want to do more of like Lucha Underground kind of stuff, take a page from Lucha Underground and kind of have those kind of movie kind of stuff, I'm cool with that. Like, they can have a match like that and do all that stuff like at a stadium. I think that's cool for the fans. I think it's cool for people like myself. I like that kind of stuff. I loved when WWE used to do special things like that when I was a kid. You know, kids don't realize we had the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T in a grocery store. And we had Booker T and Goldust somewhere, you know, at a club. It was the coolest thing. They need to do those more often. I think that's great for us fans. That's things that I go, man. This is one thing I will tell you guys, and I know I don't try to compare the two companies, but AEW should be looking at the quality of WWE right now and take a step back. They don't need to do chair shots and blood. If they do storytelling and just I'm not asking them to be WWE. I'm just asking them to keep cohesion. If they could do that, people will come back and watch AEW. And I said at the very beginning of the show, I said AEW, like everybody's asked me, what do I think about their deal? It's not all set in stone. It's like Ray Phoenix and Penta going to WWE. That is now coming out that Phoenix, because Tony Khan has now talked about this. Now Tony Khan's now considering tacking time on to Phoenix. Now, has Penta signed a deal? Supposedly he has. Who knows? Now who knows? It's like the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, that has kind of iced cold. They said they were going to debut at NXT in Chicago. That's kind of just fizzled out. Now they're saying it's up in the air. They may not debut. So, again, as I tell you guys, take the dirt sheets and the stuff that you are hearing with a grain of fucking salt. And I kind of went and pulled the trigger, and I apologize. And I told you guys I usually don't, but I thought this was like literally ace in the hole. And it's not. Because now it's coming out reports today that Ray Phoenix may have time tacked on. AEW has leverage. Now they're saying they may play the leverage card. Penta may get time tacked on. They're saying all this stuff now. So, like I said, that situation is wild to me. Miro's situation is wild. I think Miro, they should literally not release him. Miro should be used as an example. This guy he took a $6 million a year contract to sign, talked all the shit about WWE. He should stay in AEW. Tony Khan should force him to stay and tack on time. And the guy should be performing for Tony Khan because the guy has refused to do anything for AEW. Or what Tony Khan should do is refuse to pay out his rest of his contract, sue his ass for the rest of the money because he didn't want to be there, and give him for the dates that he wrestled. I think that's fair. AJ Styles and The Undertaker was, yeah, I loved that Boneyard match, right? Boneyard match was great. I think that was Jeremy Borash, and I'm gonna tell you guys, Jeremy Borash is good shit. A lot of that, I get why Triple H goes to him as the right-hand man, and I totally understand why they do. It's great. Xavier Woods, I told you guys, Xavier Woods, I have been on a crusade. I have told you guys, I have planted my flag in the sand. And I've told you guys, Xavier Woods turns heel, must be champion in 2024. He's got to be champion. I'm telling you. Put the belt against Braun Breaker. You have Xavier Woods going as heel. You have Braun Breaker as face. You turn around, you lead that into next year or the ending of this year, and have Xavier Woods get his first championship off of Braun Breaker. Now, hear me out. Now, why do you have two veterans beating Braun Breaker like that? Because Braun Breaker does not need. Braun Breaker can lose and still be good. Like, you can have Braun Breaker lose and still be fucking $1 million. It's like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is another one you can have lose and still look good. Like, that's just how I see it. Braun Breaker's a Brock Lesnar character with mic skills more than Brock, but can lose and still look good. And again, I think Braun Breaker, I think if it's not CM Punk, I think it's Braun Breaker and Gunther at Mania. I said that there. I would have Braun Breaker go through some people and get to that World Heavyweight title. And I've said Randy Orton, right? I've said Randy Orton versus Cody at Mania, but I'm kind of going, I wouldn't mind seeing CM Punk and Cody throw down. Exactly. Miro's the biggest joke I've ever seen, and people are saying, oh, it's the biggest blunder. No, it's not the biggest blunder. Miro's been hurt more than wrestled. And the stuff, him and Moxley were supposed to have a feud between each other last year ago when Moxley came back for being, after the Punk stuff, and he turned around and refused. Then they had another one where he would go against Darby Allin. Darby Allin would have been TNT champ. He refused. The reports are out there on Miro. Miro's a piece of shit in my eyes. The guy didn't want to perform. Why? He's another Ryback. Basically, from the reports, it's another Ryback situation. Ryback didn't want to perform at the end. He wanted all the money. He didn't want to wrestle. He likes the idea. Ryback likes the idea of being in wrestling, but doesn't want to be in the industry, if you know what I mean with that one. He likes the idea. It's like listening to Brett Favre. Oh, no, Tom Brady. It's like Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady likes to talk about how he wants to come back to just spark clicks and views. He don't really want to be back. He wants to make as much money as he can doing whatever he can do for whatever. It's the same with it's the same with fucking it's the same with Miro. Same shit. Miro's just a waste of time. And honestly, he should have been forced. This is where Tony Khan needs to do better in his wrestling talent. And he kind of needs Miro, to be honest with you. They kind of need some talent. Because with Swerve, you're going to have to fill some voids. And Phoenix, he's been hurt more than I can count. And he thinks easily that he can go measly his way over to fucking WWE is a joke. And Ricky Starks, you know what? They have nothing for him. I see Ricky Starks jump into WWE. He kind of deserves that, to be honest with you. I think, look, you took the titles away from him when him and Big Bill were really doing very well for themselves. And then you did nothing for Ricky Starks. Then Ricky Starks got in some legal trouble. Then you really kind of just submerge him like that. You kind of sabotaged him in a lot of ways, Tony Khan. I don't blame the guy that wants to walk into fucking, you kind of pissed on him a little bit. And I love Ricky Starks, but you kind of pissed on him. Yeah, I guess he had some minor stuff in Canada, I guess, when they were traveling. AEW was traveling to Canada. I don't know the whole situation with that. I heard it was speculated or something happened. They kind of swept it under the rug. So I don't know with Ricky Starks. So like when I say legal trouble, I read something where he got in trouble for something minor in Canada. I don't know what it was for. I just know it was minor. That's why he was also pulled off of TV for a period. And then the whole Big Bill thing was, I think, right after that situation. I don't understand Tony Khan's logic when it comes to things sometimes. You belt these guys up to be some type of a babyface team, and people were kind of buying into it being the next version or a better version to me of Enzo and Big Cass, excuse me. And you kind of sabotaged and pissed on them. Big Bill, they're high up on. Big Bill's another one I really hope they do treat well. And they give him the kitchen sink because he's great shit. But anyway, let's get back into Xavier Woods. Like I said, I have put my flag in the ground, and I've told you guys this, and I will keep saying this if I will go down in flames. Xavier Woods, champion 2024, 2025. I see him winning either the United States title at some point off of somebody as a heel. His first feud should be with Xavier Woods. He should beat the living hell out of Xavier Woods. And I'll cheer for it because you know why? Xavier Woods the only one out of the New Day that hasn't won a championship. Big E has. Xavier Woods has. They gave him flowers. I feel sorry for that guy. Xavier Woods has been everything for that group, just as much as the other two, and he's been treated like a sideshow for a minute. Yes, I know WWE allows him to do the video games and all that, but at the same moment, he's been treated like he's a sideshow. The man should win a title and be treated right. Man's pushing almost 40. He should be treated better, personally. McIntyre, his promo, I liked. It's basically CM Punk's promo, but a little bit better. Oh, yeah. I agree with you. They put Xavier Woods in purgatory. They let him there. They let him sit there. And I'm like, you put the belt on Xavier Woods. You haven't put the belt on Xavier Woods yet. When and where are you going to do it? Now you put the belt on Jay Uso. You put the title on Jay Uso now. When is it Xavier Woods time? You've given everybody that's been there for 14 years plus a belt. Give this man something. Xavier Woods deserves to be pushed. The man's got charisma. The man can get people to pop for him. Turning him heel would be great. And you have him win a mid-card belt. You do something with Xavier Woods. You have to. Kofi's had his time in the sun many times. Don't get me wrong. Kofi Kingston's great shit. But you've had this man on your roster already win a championship belt. You've had him had the belt for less than 4 months. Xavier Woods deserves to have something thrown at him. I'm sorry. I just, all these years of watching him since TNA, I've watched him consecrate Creed, watched him just job out all these years. I kind of want him to be Jay Lethal of WWE. I do. What was great about Jay Lethal when he finally won the big one and then the other big one was he holding those belts for so long in Ring of Honor when it was St. Clair that was owning it. I used to love watching old school Jay Lethal, man. Xavier Woods could be that. And guess who trained Xavier Woods? Jay Lethal. Give Xavier Woods a title. It's a crime to me that how you haven't given everybody else around him that was part of it. Yeah, I like what Karrion Kross is doing too. That's another thing. People are going to say, oh, they haven't. Well, they have to do something with him at this point. I've said this about Apollo Crews. Da Vinci's a crime to me. Vinci should still be in the Imperium. I don't know why they kicked him out and had Kaiser stay. Vinci, I like his character on SmackDown, but you have him lose. Ridiculously dumb. Io Sky and Kairi Sane defeat the Unholy Union. I'm not surprised. I think Damage Control will win the women's belts. They're flip-flopping these titles. They're flip-flopping. The tag belts are a waste of time. And I read a report on X. And it's from a reputable source that WWE is now confirmed really close of introducing a U.S. belt and an Intercontinental belt for the women's side. I'm excited about that. That's stuff that Bayley fought for. Bayley fought for those titles, mid-card titles, right? Because they got the big three in NXT. They should have mid-card titles at this point on and get rid of those tag team belts. Yuck. Get rid of them. Put them, just get rid of them. The U.S. and Continental, that could give feuds for future generations. They don't need tag belts. The tag division has been terrible as far as women. They tried it in NXT. It failed. It's failing now. I'm not a big fan of Bianca. I would rather see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill go at each other for a mid-card title. Do you know that? Than them being together? I'd rather see them feud between each other and have matches more than them being in a tag team division. I'd rather see, I just, my personal opinion, you can take that however you prefer. I just think, yeah, Vinci's getting booked really terribly. Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Vinci. Vinci was being pushed to the moon and back when he was part of Imperium, and then now, again, I don't like this whole guy, Versace, glasses, cool Ferrari. Just, you're in America. Be American. I'd rather see him do some like comedy, sketch comedy, kind of like be a Santino Marella kind of guy. You know, kind of funny, kind of cool, get over with the crowd. I'm not asking him to have the snake come out or anything like that. I'm just asking for him to be a little different. He doesn't need to be all showing fancy cars, and the way they're booking him is so stupid. I've seen this done before in WWE. Yeah, that's the other thing. Michin should be over in NXT right now, going after their mid-card title. Or Michin should be over in TNA under their partnership. That's what I'm really disappointed about. You say you have nothing for AJ Styles, but you have something there with NXT and TNA. You could have AJ Styles go over to TNA because they do tape recordings and how he doesn't like wrestling all the time. You can have him go over and film a bunch of stuff for TNA and have him go up the card. There you go. And then you can have him on NXT do some stuff here and there. And you can have him beat Nick Nemeth over on fucking TNA. That shit would be fire if they did. They won't. WWE won't. WWE doesn't view AJ Styles as an NXT guy. They are a TNA between the two. It's like the Good Brothers. Why didn't they send some talent for a while over to TNA just to help them out? AJ Styles and the Good Brothers and Michin over there would be perfect. It suits TNA though. That's the problem. Michin deserves to be over on TNA television. And I know people are going to tell me, well, why not WWE? She suits TNA. Guys, just imagine her winning the women's belt off of Jordan Grace and having her on main television holding that belt and defending it every week. It helps TNA. It helps her. It builds her up. It makes her look great. And then Jordan Grace can win that belt later down the road again. You know what I mean? They could do that. You know, things with Michin that they need to do is Michin needs to either win an NXT mid-card title or wait for those Intercontinental / US belts to be introduced. I think that's coming from one of the big wrestling outlets out there that they're already said and done. All they're waiting for is the right time to introduce them. That would be interesting. That would be wild. I could see something like that. That'd be wild though. LA Knight keeps the title. Okay, till next year. And you can have Matt Cardona debut like one of their stadium shows, and then boom, have him win the title. I could see that. They've done it before. They did that with the Hardy Boys. In fact, they had the Hardys come in and win. They've done it before. And here's another thing I want to say. Somebody had an epic rant over last week over Ricochet and Will Ospreay, sorry. And was going on and how about like Ricochet's had 5 matches. Okay? 5 matches. He's won every one of them. They're fighting over a mid-card title. I would complain if it was a heavyweight title. But Ricochet's beating top-tier talent in AEW. So he deserves what he's getting. And they're not pulling the trigger very quickly on this. It's been a minute. You guys want this guy to sit in purgatory? Again, you could have the guy sitting and facing jobber after jobber every week. Let's just get real with that one. You could have done like Tony Khan's done with every single person that's debuted with AEW. Had them go against jobbers for 4 weeks and then have elimination match, lose, and then do it all over again, over and over and over again. I don't want that for Ricochet. Do you? I don't. So some of you need to hear me out in the community. Like, stop this whole Tony Khan's doing shitty job. It would be totally disgraceful if he did it the other way around. Yeah, the whole women's thing. This whole thing that I saw over the weekend where Monet, Britt Baker, and a few other women's talent are all sabotaging the division. And they're all like causing fake feuds against each other. It's like, who's reporting that? Who? This is why I tell you guys, the dirt sheets, don't believe everything they say. The ones you really want to go and read the most, I would tell you, is I would say Sean Ross Sapp. I would say would be a major player that you would want to go listen to. WrestleNomics for the numbers. I would tell you those are the 1-2 that you would want to go and listen to. I would say if you're looking for a nice YouTube channel that keeps it cool and cut, I would say Ango, and I would honestly tell you Wrestle Talk, Cult of Wrestling. I would tell you a lot of these other channels were rolling with this like it was a big deal. It was like, no, the guy that reported this is a fucking fraud, which sounds like is a fraud that makes up stories to make up stories. That's the same guy, these same people, and get this one, it's the very same people that I said in my own videos was reporting. Who was it that was reporting that Ricky Starks was at the Performance Center training during a Twitch stream and basically saying, hold on, somebody's calling my house. Basically saying that Andrew Zarian's another good one too. Like WrestleNomics, I would say is good for numbers. Andrew Zarian's good. Sean Ross Sapp's good. Like, stick with the ones that really report, really go out of their way to do so. Don't go after these other people that are reporting. And then you got these wrestling podcasting channels that sit back and they regurgitate the same shit and throw a narrative behind it. And they wonder why they're not in the media scrums anymore. Well, let's go back to the biggest one that wears a baseball cap. He's the same motherfucker that sat back and asked Tony Khan a stupid question about Wardlow back then when Wardlow was actually hurt. This is the same guy last week that I was all over people regurgitating. Him and Dax Hardwood are going at each other. Two dumbasses that have nothing better of their... I love Dax Hardwood. Don't get me wrong. Dax is great, but he's acting like a dumbass on X. I've been watching from a distance. Him and JD are having dick measuring contest over who's right and who's wrong over wrestling, and that's so stupid. Wrestlers should stay in their own lane. Personally, I think wrestlers should stay in their own lane, focus on what they're doing, and us as podcasters should stay in our lane sometimes. You know, I think sometimes, you know, I don't go on X. I go on X and I read things, but I don't go and have arguments with wrestling fans, man. That's not for me. I don't need any. I get that in the gaming side of things with my brain cells leaking and the stupidity over fanboyism and stuff like that. I just don't do it for wrestling, man. It's too stupid for me. It's like if you start diving deep into these people that talk wrestling, man, like these people that are casual fan like, they're making out to be like fucking Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes did like Marvel type action cinema movie stuff. And it's like, no, they just met at a fucking ball field and they filmed it to look nice. It wasn't anything like, I've seen this once before. I used to see these kind of vignettes in Lucha Underground. It's nothing new. It's just WWE has a lot of production money to spend and they could do cool things with it. I think some people need to calm down when people overzealous sometimes. By the way, guys, I'm talking about everything in this review because there wasn't really much to dive into tonight. I mean, outside of Braun Breaker losing the title and Joe Tessitore talking about 40 show television selling out in 2024. The Creed brothers beating Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods lost his mind a little bit. Priest video promo was damn impressive tonight. Bronson Reed, can we just say Triple H is really focusing on two big men right now? And the last man standing match they're going to have is going to be pretty fucking epic. Can I just say that? I love the story that they're building with that. And I hope they continue it throughout the rest of the year. It's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. And let me tell you, Triple H, I think, is listening on that one because give me more Braun Breaker. Give me more Bronson Reed and fucking Braun Strowman all day. Should be the ultimate goal. Bronson Reed beating Seth Rollins down the line should... hold on, let me read that a little bit better. The ultimate goal. I get you there. Seth Rollins over the weekend, if you guys are sports fans, Seth Rollins got kicked out of a football game. He jumped, I guess him and some other NFL player were started beating the shit out of each other for real. It wasn't kayfabe or anything like that. It wasn't staged. They were actually going to blows. And then they went over this mini guardrail or something like that in the front row. And they over football. The shit was epic. I was like, you know what they should do? Have Seth Rollins, because I guess he's a diehard Chicago Bears fan. And I was like, damn Rollins. You look healthy to me. But, man, that shit was funny. Guys, go look that up online. Seth Rollins getting kicked out of a football game this weekend was great. It was fucking the most funniest, hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. But, yeah. I'm wondering if WWE is going to fine him for it, though, for being stupid. Uncle Howdy's video, he says, I am the dust, I am the worm, I am the revel. Countless upon me, and said, I shall live, and the words of red you speak, we follow. I love the well, I don't know, but that shit was funny, though. From what people said, he was really having an argument with somebody over football, and they got in a tussle, like a fight. I'm wondering how much beer was drunk by fucking Rollins. See, what Rollins should do at this point with that, the legendary, I don't know who he was fighting with. I guess he was some legendary wide receiver. What he should do is just call the guy, apologize, offer him to buy him some beer and go hang out and have a beer and just laugh about it. The LWO tonight. The LWO tonight. Dragon Lee got a victory tonight. That was good. That needed to happen. They kind of showed off Carlito tonight being part of the WWE 2K24, and they showed off Dragon Lee, so that was cool. The Drew McIntyre segment was cool. They also paid homage to Mark Sanchez in the audience and Adam Jones, the Tool guitarist, and fucking Joe fucking Tessitore. He made me laugh hard. He kind of put his foot in his mouth. Fucking put his foot in his mouth. He was trying to say like somebody else was legendary, and fucking Corey Graves turned over and goes, "What are you on about, dude? Fucking the Adam, the Tools guitar player, is legendary in himself." And I was like, damn, fuck, kick roasted. Joe Tessitore is hilarious, though. He botched some things tonight on the mic, though. It was funny. Instead of calling it a Luva kick, he's going for the Luva. He's going to do it. Luva. I'm like, the fuck? It's an Aluva kick, dude. What the fuck, man? Anyway, let's get to what Dream is saying. War Raiders might be returning soon. Hopefully. The one's still recovering from neck fusion surgery, kind of what Big E kind of had. So we're waiting for him to be medically cleared. And Hyvar, last time we saw Hyvar was fucking, he was on NXT fighting Umi Feli for the North American Championship. That was the last time we saw him. And I think he had, who was the other one? Who's the chick? I know that I call her Morgan. Not Morgan. Sarah Logan. But she was known as, she's known as something else. Valhalla. There we go. Valhalla. She's known as Valhalla. It took me a minute. It's been so long because a lot of these people are hurt. That's another thing that AEW, you got to understand. This is another thing I want to say about AEW on this. A lot of the fat's coming off the bone of AEW. They signed too much talent. What a lot of people don't realize, they signed too much talent that is not panned out. Like, for instance, Keith Lee has been more sick and unhealthy. Now there's pictures coming out of him being in the best shape of his life. Like, he's like ripped as fuck now. If you want to put a guy, if this is my thing, if they're bringing the Hurt Syndicate in at some point in AEW, put Keith Lee in that. And then what you would do is put Leo Rush on that and re-give us what happened with Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley back on Raw a few years ago. It was great shit. Bobby Lashley and having fucking Leo Rush be his mouthpiece was fantastic. That would be interesting. I would like to see that. That would be cool. Or you have Liv Morgan lose, Rhea Ripley, and then you have out of nowhere somebody beating the shit out of her, and that's how we get the first feud. I'm not a big Liv Morgan person. I like Liv Morgan. I just, the title to me, they gave it to her for a reason. I like the Judgment Day kind of now. I kind of like Dom and Liv Morgan. It's kind of grown on me, but I'm still the jury's out on that for me. It's like, I don't know. Raquel Rodriguez, I would like to see her be featured somewhere. And please don't have her come back as this fucking part of the LWO. If you have her come back part of the LWO, I am seriously going to go get a trash can and I'm just going to barf right into that trash can. Because that shit's awful. That shit's disgusting to me. Let's see. What do we get after this? So we got a last man standing match for next week. I guess. Shark Cage. We get in a Shark Cage match at Bad Blood where Dominic's going to be hauled up in midair. So that's going to be cool, I guess. You know, WWE, give them credit. I thought they wouldn't do another Shark Cage match, but they are. By the way, if we're talking ratings, Rampage went up by 200,000 people. So 200,000, their ratings were up 71.4%, if we're going to go there. So ladies and gentlemen, this may be the end of Rampage. We may be seeing Rampage go away for Shockwave. Who knows? But I'm happy for AEW, though. Now, if you guys haven't not been following the AEW news about the deal, I talked about it earlier. Everything is set in stone outside of Max. So if you guys think there's a Max deal coming, Sean Ross Sapp basically said on Wednesday of last week with the owner of Fightful, basically that AEW is not going to have a deal with the Max app or with the Max app period. They've been working on that, but the deal may just be for TV. There's also been speculations on that they may simulcast to do testing to see how it works out on the Max. and I get probably where Tony wants to get the best money for the tape library, right? And hear me out on this, and I know some of you are going to tell me, well, why would he go and make a deal with Fox for? Because I think he's going to be in negotiation of probably selling the library or having the library somewhere. He's going to have to put his pay-per-view somewhere. So I think it's going to either end two ways. It's either going to be on the Max app or he'll put it on Disney Plus. Disney or Hulu. I think more Disney Plus. And before somebody tells me, well, Disney will probably turn it PG. They won't have the blood. I don't know. Have you seen the shit that's been coming out from Disney lately? It's all been fucking a bloodbath. They've been putting a lot of fucking R-rated shit on their platform. And they've kind of separated their app now for kids to an adult. So like when you log into Disney Plus, they do have an adult section now to where you could set your account to only show adult shit or kid shit. So I'm very shocked Disney wants to work with Fox wants to work with fucking, but I'm not surprised because Tony Khan's shopping his shit around. They've been saying for a minute he's been shopping Ring of Honor in the tape library. He wants Ring of Honor included. So they're saying the number is right now is $200 million. Okay, so WWE content. So this is what I found out about WWE content. So you guys now know this. And this is interesting. I didn't even know they were doing this. So when SmackDown goes off the air, or Raw goes off the, or SmackDown goes off the air and NXT go off the air, the next day they're going to be on Netflix. I didn't even know this. So part of the Netflix deal and the stuff with Peacock, I guess NXT is going to be over on Peacock and Netflix. So we'll be able to catch the content after the fact on both after it's live. So that's fucking sweet. I think that's pretty freaking cool. No condolences? No, I really don't, because Hulu wasn't really, again, there wasn't really, I'm going to say this in a good way. There wasn't a lot of people that were watching it on Hulu to begin with. A lot of people that were surfing for it was watching it on Peacock after the fact. Because they've been putting it on Peacock the day after. So, again, as I said before, I'm not surprised. Now, this brings me the question, if they're putting it all on Netflix going forward, WWE is, and they're working with Netflix hardcore, I'm assuming when the next TV rights deals happen, Netflix is going to be a big player within all the shit that's happening. Now, the cool part with me is, guys, let me tell you this. So to any of you guys that are going to be watching WWE pay-per-views, if you suffer watching on Peacock the WWE pay-per-views, go get yourself a VPN. For free. There's plenty of free VPNs out there that you can go grab on your web browser. And no, this is not piracy. I'm not promoting piracy. But if you have a Netflix account and you pay for Netflix, I'm going to go with the better service. So the WWE network, outside of the States being with Peacock, it's everywhere else on Netflix. I'm just going to dial into Canada on a VPN, and I'm just going to go watch the pay-per-views, honestly, on Netflix. I'm going to be honest with that. Netflix is so much better. Netflix is 100% better than Peacock. If you've watched Peacock on a console or a shitty stream stick, they are fucking awful. Like, sometimes it pinwheels and buffers, and I have fiber in my house, right? Right now, I'm streaming at 720p because my computer, I'm kind of, 720p, I think, is the sweet spot for my streams. But, I'm kind of just playing with it to see how it goes. But as I was telling you guys, just go get a VPN for free, or buy the year and just dial in. You can go get like Surfshark, or I would say Surfshark. Don't go with NordVPN. I heard some shit that's happening to them, or IP Vantage. And just go out of your way and just grab that and just tunnel in to like Canada or something outside of the United States. And seriously, it would be your best bet to watch pay-per-views. Just word of advice. That's what I'm going to be doing going into next year. Plus, Disney owns Hulu. Fox, which AEW is interested in discussing TV, say stay with Warner Brothers and streaming goes somewhere else. Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they sign a deal with Disney or Fox in general, and they either put it on Hulu or they put it on Disney Plus as a special event thing to get people to come over and subscribe to Disney Plus. Or what they do is they bundle it in, since Hulu's been doing all these bundles and Hulu's been shopping around, or Disney's been shopping around to partner with other people. Wouldn't it be something they give you a package to where it offers AEW stuff on top of Disney Plus, on top of ESPN? That would be fucking sweet. And HBO Max, and then you pay like $20 a month and you get all 4. I think that would be litty fagitty, to be honest with you. And they're on the verge of possibly partnering up with Paramount. That shit would be great. I'm excited for Shockwave. I really hope with Shockwave they do something different. I hope it's not a highlight show. I do hope I'm going to say this, and I know Tony Khan doesn't want to go against the NFL on a Thursday. He should go Thursdays. What he should do is take Shockwave. He should take Shockwave and put Shockwave on Fridays. And then on Thursdays, since there's nothing there on Thursdays outside of Impact Wrestling, what he should do, or MLW, I think, is on Thursdays, and I think NWA Power, but those wrestlings don't really get the views like that, and most of them are on streaming apps anyway, so views don't really matter. If I'm Tony Khan, put it on Thursdays. Put Shockwave on Thursdays. Feature your Ring of Honor talent on Shockwave. Have your championships, Ring of Honor championships, being featured on that. You don't even need to have Ring of Honor to have Ring of Honor. You could do Thursday Shockwave as a show for Ring of Honor. You just call it AEW Shockwave. I wouldn't be mad about that. That would be a great way to get your Ring of Honor refeatured. That way you can call it AEW Shockwave, and they could just have the stuff blue and black, kind of take a page out of, like, maybe they could do some old school shit. I don't know. They could do something cool. Maybe do steal the idea of the old school Chargers looking logos or something. Maybe steal something. Maybe modify some shit. They could do like a Zeus type deal. They could do so many cool things with that. And I already could tell you the music they can have. What they do is, if they want to have a great intro for Shockwave, they can go out of their way. And I've kind of said this before. I was talking because I can't play any copyrighted music here on YouTube, but on other places I was talking about things that what was I was talking about? I was talking about it with another fellow community member. Would I not have Spotify in here anymore? Hold on. I thought I did. Huh. Oh, I didn't download it. Whoops. I was talking about possibly, why don't they go out and they, if AEW has all this money and they're going to get this big TV rights deal, I said, why don't they go after Eminem's music? Do something uniquely different. Be outside the box. Shockwave. And they would have to pay a shit ton of money to fucking Eminem, but like they could do some like old school Eminem music if they like. They can go down that alley, or they can go and work with. I'd be okay with them going with because they like to do the metal stuff. I wouldn't mind them going after like Slipknot, Pantera. I wouldn't mind them going hardcore in the paint and even going out of their way. And they can go and make a great deal for old school Linkin Park music with Chester Bennington if they wanted to go that far. Their first album, Meteora, they can go and pick up like Paper Cut or Place in My Head. And they can have Banger Like That. And that could be them featuring, their music still. Or if they really want to go old school, yeah, that's the thing. Like, finally, Eric Bischoff's finally praising AEW. It's like, Dude, you've been shitting on AEW since the last time you were in AEW. Ever since you and Tony Khan couldn't get on the same page over creative shit, or the way you observed, you've been shitting on them. Now you're praising them. Why? Because he got a second deal and you couldn't with WCW? That's probably why. But, like I said before, oh wow, Ric Flair says him and Wendy Barlow have decided to part ways respectfully. Interesting. Tickets go on sale for WrestleMania. They did announce that during the show. Prince Nana to give an update on Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland's on vacation. He's not going to be around for a while. That's been confirmed. MJF's filming a movie at the moment. Samoa Joe is still filming a couple of I guess he was filming episodes for Twisted Metal, like the next 2 seasons. They were re-signed. The Fate is Woven vignette airs on WWE Raw. That looked kind of cool. I forgot to mention that. That could be the Viking Raiders showing back up. That could be somebody else. Who knows? That could be Pentagon. Who knows? That could be Ricky Starks. Who knows? Tony Khan says AEW is planning to do a variety of things with Max. Highly doubt it. I highly doubt that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think if we don't see a Max deal by the end of the year or a streaming right, or we're going to see a TV rights deal. I guarantee that one. But if we don't see a streaming rights deal, I think they'll do that something with Hulu or Fox in general. For Tubi, they'll do something. Tubi, Disney Plus, they'll do something. They'll figure that out. I really don't personally see them going without a streaming rights deal, because streaming's the future. And I think too many people, I think as far as for AEW, has been tired. I think we're tired of the old pay-per-view kind of concept, and WWE's been doing it, and they've been making hand over fist on it and the special content stuff. So they've made stuff. Jeff Jarrett and Adam Page lumberjack strap match. I'm not a big fan. I think I said that I should have said that during their fucking. Dustin Rhodes opens up his own wrestling association. I'm excited about that. The Rhodes Wrestling Association, Texas Fall Fury. I'm cool with that. I'm excited for that. I love Dustin Rhodes. Anything Dustin Rhodes does, I'm happy. I'm pretty okay. I can't wait for Maple Leaf. Let's see, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. And so their first pay-per-view press release. Okay. I don't know when their first pay-per-view is going to be, though. I forgot when their first pay-per-view is going to be. October 19th, October 20th. Okay. So we'll be watching that as it's live. So we'll probably do a live for that for sure. I'm excited for that. Some of the names so far. So let's read some of the names here. So we got Brent Bank. I know who he is. We got Lenny Luck. Okay, I know who she is. Jake something. I know who definitely that is. Adrian Prince. I do know who that is. Stu Grayson, that makes, Stu Grayson's another one that AEW fucked up with personally. And can I tell you guys this? And this is one thing that I will tell you guys, and I said this, I think I said this in my Rampage video review for you guys. I'll say it again and I'll reiterate. You guys need to be watching the shows. You guys need to be watching the shows. If you just watch Dynamite per week, you're not getting the whole pie. You're getting this much. You need to be watching it all, because Evo Uno is cutting promos like his life depends on it. John Silver is cutting shit that's great. Nobody watches it. Ring of Honor. Literally, there was a beginning, a middle, and end of a storyline with Evil Uno that should have been on Dynamite. And I tell you, I was a little disappointed they had this on their C show instead of their A show. Because when Evil Uno, when they were part of the Fatality, or I think it was the Mario Brothers, or whatever they were calling themselves, the Nintendo Bros, or Fatality Brothers, or something like that, with Stu Grayson, they were cutting promos like it was coming out of style. So for people to tell me that fucking Dark Order and their new music, that Dark Order's new music is great. I love it. Dark Order's not dead. I don't know why people are saying that. Like, they just are not used properly. They're good shit, just not used properly. Let's see. I mean, we got a lot of good talent. We got Athena. We got QT Marshall. I mean, it's going to be a good show. I think the 2 days are going to be good shows. Well, the whole thing about like for instance, I watch a lot of wrestling podcasts outside of me doing, talking. And this is one of my we're getting close to one of the longest shows. I'm just talking because I haven't been here in a minute. We're talking wrestling all night. Because I'm probably going to be game streaming here shortly and get some more coffee. But I will tell you guys this, and I'll keep this a buck with all of you. I've watched a lot of wrestling podcasts this weekend. And the one that I've seen a lot of clips on is JD from New York. And I know I talk about him a lot, and some people say, oh, you're obsessed. No, it's just what I see online a lot. And I see a lot of people retweet his shit. I see a lot of people retweeting him and a lot of others that regurgitate the same shit. And the sad part is, these are the same very people that don't watch the beginning and middle and end of a Dynamite into Collision, into Rampage. And they're the same very people that want to say Rampage sucks, that it gets no views. Well, maybe if you watched it, you would get a view. Maybe if you watched it and actually saw there was actual storylines happening, maybe you wouldn't be on Twitter bitching about every little thing. It's like the Outlanders, right? The Outlanders are on Collision killing it. Nobody really watches it, but maybe a handful of us. And then you got people like those same names, including the one I just mentioned, finally coming around to it. I'm like, where were you 3 months ago? Where were you on Ring of Honor when these guys debuted? Where were you when the Von Erichs were debuted? Where were you? Like, you're acting like you're taking credit. It's like, I don't understand that. There's a lot of big names. JD's just one that I use as an example, but there's a lot of these names out there that are sitting here and they'll shit all over. And it's like, guys, I watch the products. They're not as bad as you make them to be. I watch TNA every week. Do I report it every week? No, because I got a lot of things in my life. Unfortunately, covering every wrestling show is difficult. It's not easy. You have to make time, and time I don't have a lot of time. And Mondays I do have time on Tuesdays. Wednesdays I do, but like Thursday, Friday, Saturday are like, I got things to do, like go to Costco and grocery shop and, do the adult things. It's, go, like, I'm going to be working eventually, so it's going to get harder. So, like I told you guys, it's like, I try to explain, like, not all wrestling shows are terrible. Not all are bad. And I'll be honest, has AEW booked some shit? Sure, they booked some blunders and some fumbles. Yeah. But not as bad as people are making it out to be. And there's actual storylines. Like the same dude JD said on Twitter, you can go check that out. He said, nobody's going to remember Jamie Hayter in 6 months. I don't know. It's been almost 2 months, and she's got a match with Saraya at Collision's Grand Slam in a Saraya's Rule match. Yeah, But Jamie Hayter's not getting any matches. Nah, Jamie Hayter's garbage, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm a big Jamie Hayter fan, okay? If I had the money, I would buy her new wrestling merch just because I like her a lot and I've followed her career for a while. And yes, she looks like a 70s gangster wife, okay? Like, I think that's cool. And she's wearing fur coats. Do you know how many friends of mine... Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I got a lot of friends that are into the old 50s look and the old 70s vibes. And a lot of my friends are praising AEW, and same with Becky Lynch when she wears fur coats and things like that. I have friends that are legitimately into fur coats and women wearing fur coats. Do you know how many friends of mine are like thanking AEW and for allowing wrestlers to express themselves? Like, come on now. That's another thing. Diana Peraza. Can we just say she's cutting great promos and she's going to have a faction? If she doesn't get the TBS belt or the women's belt off of Mariah May, or that faction's a waste. But Diana Peraza has been winning a lot in Ring of Honor / Collision. But again, nobody watches those products. Again, I've watched every win. Same with Taya Valkyrie. Valkyrie's been having some great little segments and some shit, but nobody watches the products. And people say Taya Valkyrie is a waste of space. But again, Taya Valkyrie, again, I like the idea of them being badasses. And Taya Valkyrie could rock a pair of shiny clothing and look badassery doing it. So, and wear gloves just like Scarlett Bordeaux and look hot doing it. So I'm cool with that. And by the way, Taya Valkyrie was hotter than shit when she was in Lucha Underground. Okay, I've been following Taya Valkyrie for a very long time. Taya Valkyrie can wear shiny shit and also cut a promo and also beat the shit out of somebody while wearing shiny and wearing long heel boots and also kick your ass. So again, just saying. Janelle Shaw is probably going to be more of a, I don't think we're going to see Janelle Shaw in AEW. I don't see that. Now, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, yes, because she's loyal to Scott D'Amore. I don't think you see her. Maybe. I can't say no. Maybe. But don't keep your hopes up, though. Who I could see a part of this faction, though, Lady Frost. Lady Frost is good shit. Allison Kay. Allison Kay's been, like, that's another character that I'm like, why are we not throwing her the money? Allison Kay was literally 1-2 next to Brickhouse over here. You know that, right? Allison Kay, AK, she was also women's NWA champion. Come on now, next to Brickhouse. The one that's, I forgot her name. I'm already forgetting names. The one that's already with Monet. Sorry if I forgot her name. I'll look that up now. Janice Shaw is great talent, though. Very underrated. Actually, Janelle Shaw doesn't for being trans. She's a really good trans wrestler. Now, and I would also say the same thing about who's the other one that I love to pieces that I felt that didn't get a Sunny Kiss. I felt Sunny Kiss didn't get a real good due in AEW, though. I thought they booked her to shit and back. Mercedes Martinez is a good one too. I mean, Ring of Honor wise, they both have been great. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me make sure here. No. Yeah, guys, I'm doing some research real quick. Bear with me for a second. Man, it's gonna bother me because I forgot her name, and I feel really stupid. I feel really stupid right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I should know this. Camille. It hit my head. Camille. There it is. Camille and Allison Kay, okay? Great matches. If they should do this in AEW, sign Allison Kay. I've seen Allison Kay just job out. She was also featured in a Ring of Honor Proven Ground match over the weekend on Collision. Now, for people to tell me, well, Collision is a nothing, and Proven Ground, I agree with you. Proven Ground matches are horrible. They should just be literally number one contenders matches, but whatever. Yeah, I like Layla Gray. Layla Gray was great. She was also Layla Gray was also in NXT for a period too, if I remember right. I remember. Yeah, she was in OVW. Yeah, she was training with WWE for a minute there in the performance. She had like a tryout, and she trained for a minute. She was also featured in Bad Bunny's music. I remember that. She also trains with Mercedes Moné too, so I wouldn't be surprised if AEW signed her on like a mid. And also another big rumor that's coming out that AEW Dark may be coming back. That's another one I've been hearing in the reports. AEW Dark may be coming back because they said they had a lot of success and there was a lot of money behind it that they were making hand over fist. And a lot of talent got featured. So they're talking about bringing that back. So that could be Shockwave. Shockwave could be their NXT. So who knows? You know, who knows? And by the way, for some people to tell me there needs to be a brand split, not necessarily. No, if they do Shockwave as an NXT, they could have their own belts on there, man. They could. Or they could just feature Ring of Honor on that and just have those belts be like their upper, their, step before the main roster shit. They could do it that way. Again, I want to see Athena up on the main roster. I want to see Billy Starks. I want to see her up on the main roster of AEW eventually. I think she's really good. Her acting ability, her promo work is great. Billy Starks should be up on the main roster. I believe Athena should be up on the main roster coming soon. They got to eventually take that belt off of her and put her up on the main roster eventually this year. They're going to have to. Outside, like Britt Baker. Britt Baker's coming back. I'm wondering how they're going to book her going forward because she had lackluster appearance. If I am, okay, here's what I would do. Hear me out. Since Adam Cole's coming back, baby, and they still have the Undisputed Kingdom in play, put Britt Baker in it. Have Britt Baker be like the enforcer. Kind of like what they're doing with Marina Shafir for the new Blackpool Combat Club. I'm cool with women being the centerpiece. I'm cool with that. Now, the thing with Marina Shafir, if you're having her beat up dudes and things like that, right? And you're having her look really good, right? I would honestly do, and I'll read your comment here in a second, Dream. Honestly, what I would honestly do with that, and this is just me, I would have her part of that faction. I would build up the Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong, the Kingdom, maybe bring in Maria Kanellis. I would bring her back in, put Britt Baker into that. With Maria Shafir, you got to have her win a title. If she's going to be doing this brute shit, MMA, combat, like I'm in the military shit, you need her to win a title. Either in AEW or in Ring of Honor, you got to do it. You got to pull the trigger. You can't have her look her. Yeah, look at her. Okay, I'm just butchering English. It's hard today. Have her win a title somewhere. You have to. Honestly, what I would do is have her take out Mercedes Moné. That's what I would do. But Maria Shafir, what has she done? Not really much outside of GCW and some Ring of Honor appearances. Let's see. Beef on Ring of Honor is freaking fantastic. Super hilarious. Him and... Yeah, I do like that. Beef and on Ring of Honor. Yeah, I like that. Are you talking about the group that he brought in? Their family. The other one got hurt, a knee injury, and then they brought in the other guy. Is that who you're talking about? If I got that right, because that shit's kind of funny, and I'm like, I don't know why people are shitting on Ring of Honor when they're doing some funny shit like that. Anything else on Raw tonight? There was really nothing much more on Raw outside of some stuff. We got a Lucha Libre match. So Lucha Libre 3-way featuring DeCinico. And yeah, DeCinico. Let's see, DeCinico, Hologram, and the Beast Mortos will be featured because it's National Hispanic and Heritage Month. So that's what they're doing at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and that'll be a Collision Grand Slam match next to Saraya. So that's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing for Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor Grand Slam 2. They're going to film as much as they can. Let's see here. Anything else that I'm missing tonight? We got some new vignette for Faith in the Woven, which I'm assuming that's going to be the Viking Raiders coming back or somebody new debuting. WWE SmackDown ratings are down for the first 2 weeks on USA. Well, USA Network, well, first of all, USA Network is different than Fox. Fox gets more viewership because it's nationwide in more homes, where USA is not in more homes. That's one thing people need to realize. And views should matter because they just shouldn't. Okay, so I was right. Okay, cool. I was like, is that the guy that they replaced in the one group that the guy's knee buckled week prior and it wasn't really kayfabe and he was limping badly, and then they replaced to make it into a story, and then his other cousin doesn't want him part of the group type deal? Okay. I'm making sure I'm watching the right... I'm making sure that there's so much wrestling I take in, it's not even fucking funny. Like, for instance, on TNA, I like the Texas Death Match with Santana and JDC, so that was cool. I like the stuff they're doing with Matt Cardona and PCO. I kind of find it funny. So, yeah. I've been enjoying a lot of stuff. So far, we got a Shark Cage match, a Hell in a Cell match. So far for Bad Blood. We got a Hell in a Cell match, Drew McIntyre. We got Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And we have a women's championship match with Nia Jax defending against Bayley or Naomi. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. And there's going to be a couple more matches added. I'm assuming Sami Zayn and Gunther are going to be there because they got to have a championship title there. And then we got a... probably we're going to have a World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther being expected to be added. They're going to add that. They'll probably bring in something. They'll probably put something else on that card too, I'm assuming. And I think we're going to get some surprises at Bad Blood. I honestly think we're probably going to see some tag team debut. I could see this. They're selling this as a big pay-per-view. Like, we're talking big. So... and they're going to go up an hour for this show. It's going to start earlier, and they're going to go up an hour. Triple H said that they were going to do these PLE pay-per-views they're doing. They're going to make them more memorable, kind of like what they were doing back in the day. So I'm cool with that. Hold on, let me read that real quick. I'm reading that. Give me a sec. Yeah, I like the right. I like the Righteous. The Righteous is great. Like, people don't watch Ring of Honor. Like, if you don't watch Ring of Honor, it's kind of like disappointing if people don't. Ring of Honor is great. Did I cover it this week? Did I cover it last week? Let me go check my channel real quick. Did I cover it last week? I did cover it last week. Okay, yeah. Sammy Guevara versus the Dark Order. I did cover it, and I did tell you guys that Dark Order is the shit. It's just, unfortunately, when it comes to things, you know, bigger picture of things. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. So let me give you a final score on this wrestling show. I'm going to get out of here for the night. As far as wrestling goes, we'll continue talking when I go live for game streaming. So if you guys want to continue to talk, or if you guys got other things to do tonight, I will see you guys. I will be here streaming, but I will see you bright and early in the morning. If you guys are going to bed, I'm going to be streaming all night into the morning. So I'm not dead on YouTube. So I want to make this clear. I'm not dead. I'm not retired. I'm not dead. I went to uploaded content instead because I had things, you know, I got a lot of things going on in my life, and I was focusing on game streaming because that's where my bread and butter is. I will be back with another stream in the next like half hour. Not like I'm going anywhere. I just got to go continue setting up my OBS because this was just spirit of the moment and whatnot. And then I'll be back doing wrestling reviews for you guys and stuff like that. So don't expect lives all the time from me, though, when it comes to wrestling. Sometimes I may have to do an uploaded content just because the noise in my house and things like that. And I have to run it through a video editing software or cut it dry when, you know, so don't expect all the time. Like when there's like Bad Blood, when it goes live, we'll have a watch along review. We'll discuss. I'll be here. I'll probably get my co-host back, and we'll be doing more and more stuff. Don't expect it all the time. I will do it for special things. Like last week, I was supposed to do for college football. I never got around to that because I didn't feel good on Saturday. I was like, I've been battling stomach reflex issues. And I may go get myself checked out to see what all that noise is all about. Maybe I need some medicine or something. Or maybe I need to lay off on the red sauce when it comes to like spaghetti and shit. I don't know. But yeah. But we're back better than ever. Tomorrow's schedule looks like this. I'll be streaming all tonight. Tomorrow, depending on when I go to bed, it'll probably be early in the morning. Then I'm going to be going out because we got to get my car certain miles so it could be resmogged. I had to get some things replaced in my car, oil changed and things like that, filters and stuff, to get the smog checked. Then I got to get my license plate. You know how that goes. If you live in California or any state, we go through smog checks. I think we're only like one of like a few states that do it. But yeah, we're going to be doing that. Then, what else? Tomorrow's NXT. I'm not going to make you any guarantees if it's going to be a live review tomorrow, depending on when I get up, when I game stream, when I do the things. We're going to be game streaming tonight all the way up into the morning, 6 a.m., maybe longer. I am going to be live on YouTube. I'm not going away from this. I'm not retired. There's lots of content. Trust me. I got a lot of reviews coming up for you guys. So if you guys are into mobile phones, I'm going to talk about my new carrier, US Mobile, MVNO. If you want to save some money and you want to be on 3 different carriers or 3 different signals, they have the Dark Star network that's ran by AT&T. They also have the Warp 5G network that's ran by Verizon. Then they also have the other one that's ran by T-Mobile. So if you're into cheap service and getting what the big boys have to offer for just a little less, and you have a phone that's fully unlocked and you are completely paid off, come give US Mobile a try. They got eSIM support. They will also send you out an SIM card if you don't have eSIM. They are 5G compatible. And I have a referral code. So you save 10, 15 bucks on your first month's bill, or if you decide to buy a new phone from them directly. Their app is their app is really cool. I'm using them right now. Let me, So you guys can see here. Hold on. Okay. So I am using them right now. So as you guys can see, I am on the Dark Star network right now. See, Dark Star network. Yes, I'm a Sailor Moon fan, by the way. So there is Visible. You guys see the commercials for Visible. I was with Visible. I did have an affiliate code for them. Problem with Visible, I wasn't able to get the signal, and I wasn't going to sit back and pay after they're rejoining their network for $5. I wasn't going to sit and pay $25 a month to have shit service. Maybe in the future I'll rejoin them and give them another opportunity, because I was with them for a long period too. I've been with Mint Mobile, Ryan Reynolds' company, now that it's owned officially by T-Mobile. They went out and bought it. I've been with Tello. I've been with Cricket. But I tend to stick with, I'm also been with Boost Mobile. To be honest with you, Boost Mobile also runs on the AT&T network, and it actually, Boost Infinite actually is pretty fucking sweet. But I get really good AT&T signals here. I've never had a problem with an AT&T tower. Even with their outages, I didn't really have any issues. They still worked here where I live. So, and I get good Verizon. So it's like Verizon or AT&T. T-Mobile's kind of 50-50, depending on the area you go in Southern California with T-Mobile. Anyway, my name is Rev Sauce. I will have my first impressions, and so far from my first impressions, I am a huge fan of their new network right now. The Dark Star network on AT&T has been working great, and for $25 a month with 30 gigs of hi-fi speed and with 10 gigs of hotspot in case my internet goes down and I need to do some stuff, it's great to have. I'm a big fan of US Mobile. I may be sticking with them from here on in the future. So if you're looking for cheap service or stuff like that, we got them. I will be having some Stream Element stuff coming in here for stuff if you guys want to play some mobile games and stuff and whatnot and help me earn some revenue. That'll be down below. We have a donation thing. I'll have more donation links if you want to help the channel, things like that. I will have a Patreon eventually for you guys. I probably won't be putting any, that'll just be there if you guys want to have a way to do channel subscriptions for my channel. I also, if you have Twitch, you can come over to Amazon's platform, Twitch, and come give me a Twitch Prime sub. That also helps out the channel if you have Twitch or Amazon Prime. And to get Amazon Twitch Prime, all you gotta do is sign up for Twitch and just go find my channel. And if you have an account or whatever, there's that. So anyway, things are changing up in here. I'm doing a lot more content. There's gaming content. There's going to be tech content. There's a lot of things that are going on here on this very channel that are changing. And I'm glad to be back. I'm not retiring. Some of you think that. Be watching my content. Watch me. Seriously, a lot of you, like 70% of you don't subscribe to this channel. Be subscribing, be liking, be thumbing up. I'm going to be throwing up more shorts. I'm going to be focusing on TikTok. There's going to be some changes happening here. I will be clipping these streams, putting my clips up on TikTok and so forth and so on. I love you guys. You guys know that. As always, my name is RevSauce9. I keep it raw, uncut, and unbiased for all of you guys. Like I said, when I see something in the news, I'll report it if it's really confirmed. I kind of dropped the ball with the Ray Phoenix and Lucha Brothers going to WWE. But anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. And I am out. See you guys. As my mentors, hey. All right, we are out. See you guys.